So why did Christians pick this December 25th? Well, in the early church, there was a belief that a prophet would die on the same day he was born. We don't believe that today, but that's what a lot of early Christians believed. Now, for Jesus, it was his conception, because that's in Luke. So they believed he should die on the same day he was conceived. And they were trying to figure out when he died and when he was born. There's a lot of early calculations. Like Clement calculates it to either November or into January. January 6th is what I think most scholars put him at. Well, later Christians like Hippolytus of Rome calculated the death of Jesus to December 25th. Or I'm sorry, March 25th, I mean. If that's also the day he was conceived in their mind, you just count forward 9 months, and you get December 25th. By the way, they also placed the birthday of John the Baptist on June 25th, which is the summer solstice. Now, why are they doing this? Well, it's not because of paganism. It's because they were also interested in celestial events, like pagans were. They believed that God had used the stars to announce major events, like we see in Matthew with the Magi. So why not? Why wouldn't he do that with other major things? I mean, Genesis does talk about the stars being for marking signs and seasons. So early Christians thought they could use it to calculate important events. So it would make sense in their minds. Of course, Jesus would be born on the winter solstice and John the Baptist on the summer solstice, and then he would die on the spring equinox. I mean, why wouldn't God use these important celestial events to help determine events on the terrestrial world? It's not because of paganism. It's because both pagans and Christians were interested in the stars and celestial events. So they probably they could very well align to the solstice because of their own calculations, but also because they were interested in those things, not because they were trying to borrow what pagans were doing or co-opt a pagan festival. Everyone was interested in what the stars were doing. So it's just a common theme that we would expect in various cultures, including Christians. So the day is Christian in origin. It was calculated by Christians. It had nothing to do with paganism. And again, pagans seemed to not have a holiday on that date until after the rise and spread of Christianity. And then we see Yule move to that date. We see Sol Invictus show up on that date. It's interesting that all those post-date Constantine, and I would say it's more likely that they were moving major holidays to that date because of Constantine and him giving power to Christians.
If you're joining us for the first time, we at Ratio Christi have been very excited about these free webinars, one of our newest initiatives. So these 1-hour sessions have a couple of goals. First, we want to give you a sneak peek at the kinds of things we talk about on a regular basis, things that can equip you with historical, scientific, and philosophical reasons for believing that Christianity is true, and reasons that you can share with skeptical friends. If you're brand new to us, our name, Ratio Christi, is a Latin phrase that means the reason of Christ. Our goal is empowering Christian students in their walk with Jesus and inviting non-Christian students to examine the evidence for Jesus in a rational way. Second, what we want to do with these webinars is introduce more people to those of us on staff that are doing the boots on the ground work in this ministry, potentially near you. Perhaps it's the case that you've heard of us through the grapevine, but don't know anyone in the ministry, or maybe you don't know what we do. If you're interested, when we're done here, we encourage you to go to our website, ratiochristi.org, and select the chapters tab and see if we're near you. If not, perhaps you could start a chapter. So most months, what you'll hear in these webinars are you'll hear from Ratio Christi staff located all across the country, and you'll get to hear some of what they do in their ministry. These webinars are all free and open to the public, so please remember to share these links when they go out and invite your friends.